So we're good to go. All right, Brady. So obviously, where you from? What's your name? What's your talent? What do you do? You know what I'm saying? Let's just start off like a smooth little introduction. You can go first. I'm here. My name is obviously MJMASLIN, but you can call me MJ. I'm a producer, artist, and of course, I drop producer, artist, and a creator, and then I drop videos on my second channel. You know, just to like freeload. I'm here with Gentuk, right? Is it Gentuk?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Gentak.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir. This is my boy over here. Just met him a couple days ago. You feel me? Humble with it. What up,
yeah.
Brady?
We met on YouTube. Basically, I
Mm-hmm.
was doing a live stream, and you just dropping, and we started chatting at each other, and here we are.
Here we are. Yes, sir.
And yeah, right now I'm just living in Tokyo, Japan, and I'm trying to become a content creator.
Mm-hmm.
And I am actively making YouTube videos mostly, and also sometimes I do streams on the streets of Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
I do some gaming as well, but mostly just gaming is just like a small part. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Word. So mostly gaming, and then I see you got your Twitch channel, and you're also on YouTube as well, right?
YouTube and Twitch. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So what do you do on a day-to-day base? Work full time, and you're also a content creator.
Right now I do not have a full time job because I just quit my full time job
Mm-hmm.
back in China, and I
Right.
just moved to Tokyo, Japan, literally like 1.5 months ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I started making videos.
Mm-hmm.
I made some videos back when I was in China, but like it's not like very committed. But right now I'm very committed making content and stuff.
It's good to hear. It's good to hear. It's good to be committed. So you're in a transition. You're basically transitioning from your full time job to content creating, and you also just moved to Tokyo. That's what's up, by the way. By the way, low key, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I want to pull up to one of these days. I want to pull up to Tokyo or Japan so bad, dude. Like it just looks so crazy over there. Like real life cyberpunk 77 type vibes for real. For real, like dead
Yeah,
ass.
bro, just come to Tokyo.
Might have to take a trip one day. No bullshit. It's a
Yeah,
must. But
come to Tokyo. Let's meet.
oh yeah, we could for sure do that. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, it's gonna take some
Yeah,
planning, ticket money, all that. But yeah, we could for sure do that down the road. And also, I also look forward to making more videos you know, with you in the future. You feel me? I have a lot of creative topics on my notes. So of course, this is not the first time you're gonna hear from the both of us. Just stating that right now. Let's
yeah.
get into it. Okay, so our first subject is starting off. How do you feel about it, by the way? So we're gonna start off with our first subject called "Creativity Defeats Greed." The perspective from MJ Maslin, myself, MJ, and Gintuk. Let's talk about it, my man. How do you feel about it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So I guess I'll start off first. I don't know. Lately, for me, just in the year of 2025, witnessing a lot of crazy stuff around the world, a lot of revolutions, transitioning from these monopolistic industries to work and content creating, and of course artificial intelligence on the rise, and woo. So I don't know, I feel like nowadays, from my perspective, from an MJ perspective, I think we can definitely transition and appreciate and also naturalize creativity. I think that would be the quote unquote the bandage we could put on top of creativity and slowly heal it from time to time. You feel me? I guess I'll start off with that. What about you,
Yeah,
Ginta?
like
How do you feel?
creation is something that I've always wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but right now, like, what do you think about like
Mm.
artificial intelligence and um,
Honestly,
there's
yeah.
like Sora? Have you tried like Sora? It's
Oh,
just
dude,
basically
that's
a
so crazy, man.
platform that can generate
Mm.
videos.
Yes, I
And
actually. Funny
and
you
also
mentioned that. Mm.
since I started doing YouTube and making videos, it got me thinking like how is everything's gonna change in the future, right?
Yeah.
Is content creation gonna be different uh, in maybe 1 year, 2 years than now, and how should we pivot ourselves in this trend of changing, right? What do you think?
It definitely will be a double-edged sword, in my opinion. I think artificial intelligence. I don't know. I've always been iffy about artificial intelligence. I've heard a lot of crazy stories. Apparently, it's like the mark of the beast and stuff like that. When it comes to AI, it's just really nothing scary shit. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're using it as a tool, you're not getting too deep. Because we're all like creative creatures. We shouldn't get too sucked in when it comes to AI or artificial intelligence, because we are the actual, the original creators. You know what I'm saying? So it's a tool, and we use it to, to be helpful in society in terms of doing research. I think it could be a dope transition from 2025 to, like, let's say the next like 4 or 5 years from now on. It definitely can be beneficial to society if, we're not doing weird shit with it. So I guess I could say that.
Yeah. And also, like, I've been thinking about how to make content that is compelling on YouTube and other social media platforms. And I've been thinking a lot about it because I just started out, and most of my content has very little exposure or views. I don't have that much views, so I've been thinking about like how to improve that. And I've been thinking about like what kind of content, if I put it on YouTube, people's gonna watch. Because YouTube has changed a lot from it just began.
Right? That's the thing.
It has changed a lot. Like, YouTube has probably been there for maybe 10, 20 years. Definitely over 10 years. I'm not sure if it's 20 years.
I think
and there has been so many content creators out there, right? When you just started there, I think like one of the first large YouTuber was it called like Smosh or something? And then
it's been a lot of
you have
iconic YouTubers.
PewDiePie, and then now you have like Mr. Beast, this content creator, and their content actually differ a lot. Their content like evolve into different forms, and that also kind of reflects how this platform is changing, like, or how people's taste of content on YouTube is changing.
Yep.
And I've been thinking about that, like what kind of content, if we make it now, it would be relevant in this point on YouTube, right?
True. That's funny you mentioned that. I think, well, from the slight censoring going on YouTube, which is very disappointing on YouTube's behalf. That's the stuff that I don't really like, to be honest. I think YouTube is definitely getting a bit more stale when it comes to creativity. A lot of the old heads on YouTube, the OGs growing up with super subs, of course, PewDiePie, Markiplier, freaking Mr. Beast, the OGs, and of my favorite, Corey X Kenshin. I don't know if you know, he's one of my favorite YouTubers. I think, I feel like for me, the best, at least in 2025, with some of the censoring going on and the algorithm being a little funny, I think the best way to be successful on YouTube is to be super consistent. For me, eye candy thumbnails, which I'm really, really good at. I'm gonna do that for this video. I'm really good at thumbnails, eye candy thumbnails, somewhat trending topics, obviously being consistent. But for me, low key, I don't know, maybe it's the basics, but I do love a good thumbnail. Like, I'm really, really good with the eye candy thumbnails. Eye candy, in quotation. Of course, being consistent, somewhat relevant topics. And I don't know, I think also your ideas, even if they're niche, they have to be somewhat infused with, creativity. Hence, this subject we're talking about right here. I think if you're fresh on YouTube and you're just starting out, the best way to do it is to be extra, extra creative and to infuse your creative topics. So obviously, for this video right here, I'm going to edit it separately and put some music in the background, just kind of give it some spices and some seasonings. I think that should be very interesting. And
so talking about niche, like, what do you think?
Yeah, what about
do you
niche?
think when you're starting out a YouTube channel,
Yeah.
brand new, should you choose a niche to do a content on that, or
Yeah.
you can just do everything that comes off your mind? Do
You know what?
think it's
Honestly,
better to
I'm
focus on a niche, or do you think it's better to just do whatever you can?
I'm glad you asked that because when I first started out, I freaking, you know what? You actually do. Okay, so when I first started posting my first videos, I started off with some very interesting eye candy thumbnails, and I picked basically a quote unquote a niche. What I would do on my second channel is I'd pick subjects that, or I guess like real life situations going on in the real world, and I would just talk about it from my perspective. So for me, being an artist and a producer, I would basically talk about, like monopoly situations and capitalistic situations when it comes to music. For example, Spotify. I made a video about Spotify and how I don't know, like some of these music moguls and music monopolies could offer up better services when it comes to, you know, when it comes to like small fries like us, just starting off. I think a lot
Yeah.
of these industries, when it comes to like these music monopolies, music
Or you're cutting
industries.
out.
Oh, am I cutting out?
Cannot hear you.
Can you hear me? My bad. But yeah, I think, some of these music monopolies and capitalistic industries, I think when it comes to like, we need to do a good job at, basically giving, what I'm saying, molding somewhat of a bridge, at least a tiny bridge for like, because that's the thing, like, when something, when these, I guess, some things, and by some things I'm talking about these monopolies in society, get to that point, they, you, get on a high horse, and what I'm saying, you have small artists like me and some small creators like you and I who are just starting off, and we feel like we're just like a speck in dust in this giant black hole, like, what I'm saying, billboard, if per se. And I don't know, like, I would expose like the hypocrisies in Spotify, what I'm saying, Spotify, the fact that it's a giant like billion-dollar industries, and it's just like, we're paying people like crumbs. It's just insane to me. Like, I don't understand how these monopolies in society are making billions and trillions of dollars, and they can't even do the basics of helping out people when it comes to like, folks like me with 20, 30, 40, 50 subs, I and not necessarily washing the algorithm and not giving us small fries a chance to get somewhat of a decent, what I'm saying, a decent connectivity and a bridge, per se, stairway to heaven. You know what I'm saying?
It's pretty hard, like when you just start
Exactly.
out.
You
Like,
feel me? Like,
it's pretty
pretty much. And yeah, so that's one way to put that, I guess. Oh shit disconnected. Ooh, shit's still going.
You're like, I mean, no matter what creative industry you are getting in at this point, there's always somebody who is bigger, right?
Yeah.
Or if you want to make videos, there's already all these big YouTubers.
Yeah.
Their channels are like pulling all these views, right?
Yeah.
And you're not like a lot of views from.
That's what
You're
I'm
not getting a
saying.
lot of traffic.
Barely any
There's
traffic.
already a lot of like big YouTubers, and the traffic is not growing
Yeah.
that fast compared to like when YouTube just started. So the traffic is just taken by many of these big YouTubers. So
Yeah.
I really feel it's really hard, like to start out as a new YouTuber, to gain relevancy. It's really hard, and
yeah, we can fix that. You know what I'm saying? Well, at least they could fix that. I'm actually just setting up the screen one more time. Okay, and of course, it's still going.
basically, if you put out a video, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna appear in somebody's homepage of YouTube.
Pretty much.
And on his homepage, it's not just your YouTube. it's not just your thumbnail. There are many other thumbnails from big YouTubers or from the YouTubers that he subscribed to. So what he's gonna do is to make a decision which thumbnail to click in. So why is your thumbnail, your video be more? Why does he have to do this? It's kind of like investment, right?
Yeah,
Just
it's like
invest
exactly.
your video over all the other potentially more entertaining content. Why is he gonna do that? Why does he need to make that decision?
It's like betting. So it's damn near like gambling.
Your thumbnail, definitely your thumbnail and your title has to be really, really attracting. Like has to be really, really interesting. Like so for people to just click in, and that is not easy, man. That's not easy.
That's right. And this is why I try to focus on eye candy thumbnails and doing like somewhat like provoking slash like super, like I just go straight for the neck, like, straight up monopolistic societies, capitalistic. I go straight for the neck, you know what I'm saying? Straight for the neck, straight to the source, straight, with a very like edgy slash like somewhat of a, serious slash title subject about what's relevant, what's really, really going on in this world, in this weird ass world, you know what I'm saying? And of course, it is like betting. So I think a lot of mistakes that, YouTube is making, like, I don't think just because someone on YouTube has a gajillion subs and like a billion subscribers or whatnot, I think they've taken away that spotlight. Like, this giant spotlight of this sun spotlight should shine creatively and fairly when it comes to every single, like, all the millions of everyone on YouTube. Not, well, this certain someone is making a certain amount, certain views, and certain spotlight, and some way somehow this giant sun entity, this creative entity, has only shining that light onto that one person. And then people like us, talking about very creative, fairly creative shit, we barely get that sunshine. Yeah, and I think it's weird. I think it's unfair. It's a bit of an unbalance. And I think important platforms like YouTube should just like I don't know. I think there are certain things in society that should just not turn into a monopoly. Like, I think YouTube, a creative space for entertainment and for sharing and for creating, these things should just operate how it should actually operate, which is if there's up and coming creators, whether it's a small Mr. Beast or a small Markiplier, like, or like just a random Haitian YouTube slash creator, or even you, the random dude from Tokyo just starting out, we should get that 100% fair chance of creativity slash sun, if you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel. Yeah. And okay, this keeps cutting out. Actually, that's fine. Okay, so because I'm screen recording this on the laptop, but I've got the audio differently, I can actually loop the video, which is actually fair, so people can see us like physically talking.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll just keep that going. Fucking, I'll see it's smooth. Keeping all this in there. Yeah, so going into
most of what you're doing right now is music, and also like you talk about your opinions on different social issues.
Yep. I talk about very socialistic slash, I'm very anti-capital. You know what I'm saying? I think there is definitely a whole lot of greed going on in society. Definitely not with that. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the music space, it has been a bit hefty. My music is very slow, very psychological, very weird. So, I've had a pretty successful run the past like decade or so. I've made a couple albums here and there. I used to be on all platforms, but I don't have any bread at the moment, so my music got taken down on DistroKid. But because all my music were purchased on Apple Music, all of my original albums are still there. But I'm mostly just full time on YouTube, and then of course I drop shit on my second channel. So yeah, we're still going strong. It's gonna be a good topic.
I think for me, I'll just be keep coming
Mhm.
out of new ideas of videos, and
Yeah.
if there's one idea that I feel like we can collaborate,
Mhm.
I'll let you know. Like maybe some of your music can be like incorporated
Yep.
into the video, or maybe we can maybe we can do a podcast or something like just talk on certain issues that we are both interested in,
Oh,
and
so it's actually a
which is
good
also
idea.
like
Yeah.
compelling on YouTube.
Yep.
But
I
we'll
think
talk about it. We'll talk about it once we have
okay.
like an idea that is good for collaboration, right?
Yeah. Okay. That's actually a pretty good idea. Actually, I think we could do both. We could definitely do both. I think it's better to be, I'd say, twice as consistent. We could definitely do a podcast, but we could definitely talk about like some random cool subjects and post them on YouTube. 'Cause obviously, I'm gonna keep it. I still got like two more ideas. If you're down to, obviously, this is the first one. This is the first project we're doing. Creativity defeats greed. The perspective by the both of us. I have another one here. Hopefully, if you're interested, and pull up my notes here. Also, a podcast idea, absolutely brilliant. We could definitely launch that soon, and I would like to make like a cool ass like poster board for that. I think that'd be pretty dope. No bullshit. That would be
Yeah,
definitely awesome. Fucking, let me see.
we can do that.
Yes, sir. Just all that. And I'm gonna put some music in the background too. This is gonna be pretty dope. Not gonna lie. Um. So, did I even break down? Yeah. So, creator capital. Pretty much, I like the idea of creating your own quote unquote capital in society, and you could basically generate your own wealth, in whatever aspects. Literally, I think the new age capitalism could be, generating your own capital, and you would basically take those resources and then you merge them into society, and that would basically be your own, basically your own personal money system. Just creating, like, think of it like, when you go outside, you see those bikes that are charging up at the stations, and you have to put a quarter, or you like swipe it, put like 10, 10, 15 bucks into it, and then you can ride it for a couple minutes, right? I was thinking,
Like share bike.
yeah, like, those share bikes thing that are just sitting outside, or solar charged and everything, but you have to swipe it, put money in it, and you just have it for like 20 or 30 minutes or so to ride around. I was thinking, why don't we basically use that concept for like capitalism, if that makes sense? Like, think of capitalism. It's not like you go clock in at the desk, you stand there for a couple hours. Basically, you go into the world and you generate some type of energy conversion or some shit, and whatever creative means, and that is like the money system per se. If we want to say that, and then that shit, you could use that to like, to ponder in life, and you know go around, travel around, and like, you feel me, on some 2030 type vibes. Like, I don't know, I think that'd be pretty dope. How do you
You
feel about
mean
that?
like you
Yeah,
make content that's gonna act like those bikes
yeah, basically like something like
that
that.
can like earn you money while you're not actually there?
Yeah, basically, it's I don't know, and it obviously it's something, to like reflect on. But I think it's basically like actually generating creative capital money, if you want to put it like that. If, of course, I guess someone would think, oh, just go on YouTube and grind it out, get monetized and all that. Yeah, basically that. But like, I don't know, in like a Euro way, I guess. But it's the creator capital concept. So we can talk about that next time, because actually I want to go in depth into that. So when it comes
Okay.
to creativity defeats greed, how do you feel about the current state of the world, and when it comes to creativity, like, what are some things? that you would like to see the next like 5-10 years going on? Obviously, with the relevant issue with YouTube, slight censoring, some folks quote unquote getting a little too big on YouTube, spotlight being slightly converted to them. How do you feel like about that? And how do you think that will change the next 5 to 10 years? Because I know shit's gonna get pretty interesting.
Recently, like I've been thinking about this.
Yeah,
So YouTube have been changing like for years, right?
for surely.
So the
Definitely.
content that way, the kind of content people like to watch on YouTube when it just started
Yeah.
are different from the content that they like to watch maybe a few years ago,
Yep.
which are also different from what they like to watch at this moment, right? So people's taste and preference for content just keeps changing over time, and I feel like that's part of the result of the evolution of the society, as well as
Yeah.
like if the society changes, people's preference also changes along with that, and maybe this is gonna be a next change, right? You don't know. Maybe in 1 year or 2 year, people's preference change.
Yeah.
People start watching less Mr. Beast. They start watching something else.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe
That's what I'm
there's a
saying.
new trend. It's like a wave, right? It's like a wave.
It really is.
Every wave is gonna go up and they're gonna go down. So Mr. Beast is not gonna like stay relevant forever. It's not gonna be forever. So
Right.
there's gonna be another trend. And what is that? What is that trend, right?
Mm-hmm.
It got me thinking, like, what is that trend? And if you can catch it, if you can align your content with that trend, maybe you'll be able to get more relevance and get more views on this platform.
Yep.
That's what I'm thinking right now. And
And
I've been watching YouTube for probably like 10 years now. Like, I think 10
10 years
years.
heading into yeah.
Like, maybe people from America, probably you have more experience with YouTube, but like I am originally from China. There's no YouTube in China.
Damn.
So 10 years for me is like a long time, right?
I see.
It's like a long time.
That's
And
funny.
I really
Yeah.
feel the
My bad.
I really feel the change of the content preferences on YouTube. I remember when I first began watching YouTube, that was probably 2016 or 15 when I just started watching YouTube. And back then it was all gaming. It was all this kind of like, even Mr. Beast, right? It's like high arousal. It brings high arousal to your mind when you're watching it, right? You feel excited. You feel like you're expecting something. You feel like very hyped when you're actually watching it. But recently I noticed that there are some content that are more low arousal, quote unquote, that are not something like you get hyped and excited watching. It's more soothing, or it's more relaxing, or content that talks about deeper social issues are starting getting more views. And just I think yesterday or the day before yesterday, I just came across this channel called Thai Like All Better. I don't know if you have seen his videos. It talks about, basically his video is like go up on streets in New York and asking people their advice on life and stuff like that.
That's pretty dope.
I can actually share this with you.
Yeah, feel free to send me a link. Okay, let me just let me get rid of
I like all. It's kind of like street. So his concept is like, if you cannot afford therapy, just go on the street and ask people you don't know for personal advice. So he literally just go on the street of New York and ask people
That's dope.
Advice on life. And I feel like the editing is quite unique. He's only made 5 videos. He has over 100,000 subscriber now.
If you can't afford
Only five
therapy,
videos.
it's oh wow, actually, you
Yo,
know.
so that may be the next trend because I've not just this channel. I've seen many channels like this.
Okay,
It's
okay.
not like very exciting, right? When you're talking about this kind of topic, it's not like Mr. Beast kind of genre. But this kind of genre is very. It makes you think. It's not like very exciting kind of gaming or
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like it's very different.
I think.
I've seen this trend. I've started seeing this kind of trend on YouTube. Because if you keep watching like content like Mr. Beast,
Yeah.
eventually people gonna get tired. They're gonna they're gonna get tired watching that, you know.
Oh shit! Shout out to
And they
they do
after that they might start to
actually.
watch something different
Yeah. Can I
like
just say
this.
something though? These are actually one of the issues I don't like about YouTube, or at least or somewhat challenging. I think there's a lot of content. Like for example, there was this one dude I was watching a couple years ago. I think his name was Danny Phantom. Danny Phantom. I'm sorry, not Danny. I think his name is Danny something something. But it's just this white dude on YouTube. He has like 1 million+ subs. He talks about like
Okay.
like current issues on YouTube when it comes to there was this just like I don't know, like I think some of the content that are harmful towards children when it comes to like safety issues and stuff like that. I think there are some videos geared towards children that are definitely not helpful. Like I think I don't know, like I think YouTube needs to do a good job at putting extra spotlight and extra sunshine on us creativity. Starting off small. Like this guy, for example, Take All Better. I'm definitely gonna watch his YouTube videos when I wake up today. But
Yeah.
when it comes to that creativity spotlight, I think a lot of the freaking what do you call it? My bad. It's a mad early, bro. Fucking a lot of it's like 5 a.m. nigga. I'm up early as shit. I'm not gonna lie to you, gang. Freaking
You just wake up and talk about deep stuff.
yeah, just wake up straight to it, mad deep with it. Like this is like mad. This is
I
crazy
feel
for my
like this is
brain.
something that you talk about when it's at night. It's not something that you wake up talking.
Facts. No, it's all good though. It's like this is a good, sensitization for my brain. You know what I'm saying? But basically, a lot of like that heavily saturated, harmful like I don't know, like I think I think a lot of children, at least in 2025 growing up, I think they need to be extra careful. Like the adults need to be extra careful when it comes to what, because apparently there's some weird adult content slash animation being pumped heavily into like especially when into AI, especially gearing towards children. That's not helpful and beneficial. I think that spotlight could be swiped away for safety issues, obviously, and we could get some of that extra sunlight. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of the heavy saturation videos that are getting like unrealistic views. Excuse me. Just like you seen these two grown men fucking playing with Play-Doh and shit like that, and it's getting like 25, 30, 60, 40 million views. Like, and no disrespect to them. Everyone's doing no disrespect to them whatsoever. But I think
Yeah.
that funneling system could be somewhat balanced, if you will. I'm not really a fan of like heavy, saturated, and weird ass you know, AI slash whatever videos getting like stupid amount of views, and then you have videos like mine's or yours or like fairly like we're just starting up, like up and coming content creators that are making videos that are super creative and not necessarily nicheless, if you will. But I like the idea of going into the streets and like basically asking the therapists outside, which are basically us the people, actually, you know, experiencing this weird, capitalistic world that is balancing, I guess, or transitioning. For example, I think. Can you still hear me? By the way, can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you.
I think. I don't know. I think therapy is somewhat of a scam. If you ask me, I think the real therapy are us, the people, or people who are homeless, actually experiencing quote unquote harm from this, from these weird capitalistic society. You know what I'm saying? So I think a therapy is not really gonna be beneficial when all of my problems are stemming from the actual system, not necessarily, like there's society being very predatorily and taking advantage of, folks who are quote unquote, you know what I'm saying? Like, and this really funnels into why I think creativity definitely defeats greed. I think we live in a world with a lot of resources and we're heading into artificial intelligence. There's no way that is an actual thing in my sentence, but then someone else is like sleeping flat out in the cold and can't even get like food and basic needs. I think that's just absolutely ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? There's two of those things should never be in the same breath, which is somehow crazy because I'm saying that. So yeah, my bad. I dragged that on a little too long, but yeah, that's how I feel about that.
Yeah, I think so.
Starting off pretty decent.
They're creative. Yeah.
Yep. This is great. This is going on for like, let me see. So far, I don't even mind making this long too. I'm actually